take him out of that space.
So you're saying this battle in the 30s started from the day?
The second day my husband died, up to this moment. Up to this moment. And so, the fact that the autopsy results came out inconclusive is one thing I don't, it's hard to accept. Because I knew so well that my husband actually had an injury from the fight he had with his friend.
Which friend?
His name is Prime Boy. Okay. And I also knew that he reacted to an injection. Because my husband was fine before the nurse came, although he had an injury. In fact, the day he died, he had a podcast with one girl. What's the girl's name? Susan Pajok. Pajok, yeah, I think, I don't know. He has a podcast. So for you to know, he was actually, and that was the day our son clocked 5 months. 12. I doubt 12 number is a weird number to me. Because, it's the day I'm celebrating my child's birthday and I'm also mourning my husband. So, I knew he reacted to an injection, and the fact that at the end of the autopsy it came out inconclusive just because of one mistake that my father-in-law made. The fact that he buried him. If he was not buried, it would have been another thing entirely. But because he was buried, so he said his body has already decomposed. So most of the tissues that they are supposed to remove from his body as rotten. And the fact that it came up inconclusive is one thing I don't even want to accept. Because Liam would go up to say all of these things and he would ask me questions, and the story would not be interesting if at the end of the day there was no justice for his father.
Yeah.
The fact that he was bullied, by his oppressors, that alone is another thing that is outside. And up to this moment, nothing was done to it.
Right.
The fact that
you're talking about the whole Naira.
Yes. The fact that the bullying part, the bullying part is part of the reason why the whole world came out for justice.
Yeah.
And up to this point, the police actually promised us that they are going to, that they will be brought to book and all of that. But up to this point, nothing was done. Yeah. Do you understand?
So you agree that whole bullying is part of what led to the death?
You don't have to kill somebody with sword before killing them. I'm not going to lie to you. They cannot deny the fact that they made life so unbearable for my husband.
And Naira and his crew made life unbearable for your husband.
They cannot deny that fact. That one thing they cannot deny. A lot of people might be everywhere to support them in bashing me, so that I wouldn't talk the bullying aspects. But the few ones that are online cannot be erased. And Liam will go up to see all of those things. And I just pray that boy will not grow up to be traumatized, because imagine seeing group of people beating his father that way. It is traumatizing, because even me that his wife, whenever I think about those things, it really breaks me. I'm not going to lie to you, but at this point I'm fighting for my life and the life of my child. So, and his father is not even, his father has been on the Naira side. He has been talking, he has been speaking for them, he has been trying to save them.
Why do you think he's doing that?
So who am I? I don't know. For any reason best known to him, I don't know. I really do not know. I really do not know. So
essentially, you're saying that the justice for Mohbad hasn't been gotten
up to this moment.
And the justice for Mohbad that your father-in-law is asking for is not the same justice for Mohbad that the public is asking.
It is not.
Yeah. And you're essentially fighting on two fronts.
Yeah.
You're fighting for justice for your husband.
Yeah.
Again, and then you're having the people who are supporting his oppressors, as you call them, attacking you.
Yeah.
And you're also being attacked by your
father-in-law
at the same time.
Yeah.
And your father-in-law seems to be supporting the people who you say oppressed.
Never call Liam his grandchild. Like I said, you said so many thoughtful things too. And I got really angry that day. I had to call my lawyer. What are we doing? This man has resumed with this manipulative tactics again this year, that we need to put a stop to this. What can we do? And he said, okay, so my lawyer said I was going to write them a letter and we'll be waiting for their response. So my lawyer sent them a letter to talk about the interview that I did. Why is he acting like a victim here? Now they are the one delaying us, and they are still the one going out there to keep telling lies. When with all of this stuff, they are just acting as if they do not want peace of mind. Because now, why? When do we get to this stage again? Let's just get things sorted and move to the next thing. So their lawyer responded by saying they stopped working for him. So presently, and a few days ago, I think 4 days ago, his younger brother was on TikTok live because they had a TikTok conversation. Like, a lot of people were dragging them because people has contributed a lot of money for them on this cause. People contributed like $26,000 on
to help the Mohbad's father.
Yes.
On what? To help him for what?
On justice for Mohbad. They contributed millions of naira in another bank just because of justice for Mohbad.
So as all of this is going on, people have been contributing to him. So
yes,
emotions.
Coming in exactly. Yeah, money has been coming in.
So whose brother? Your father-in-law's younger brother?
Yeah, was on TikTok live with him. They were together on TikTok live a few days ago, and he spoke about the DNA. And he said, okay. He actually spoke about the DNA, and because people have been asking, their supporters has been asking, they're like, what is happening? Why is the DNA not done? Mr. Chud, guess what he said? He said they've got to realize that the DNA the court asked them to do will be done in Nigeria, and the results may not be accurate. That this thing sounds funny, but it's very, very painful. That they want to write a fresh application to the courts.
To do it abroad.
It is so clear that DNA tests are not even done in Nigeria. All you have to do is just to get a reliable hospital, take the swab and send it out. And once the result is done, then send it back to Nigeria. So that is the new narrative now. Okay. They want to submit a fresh application to the courts, and they want to get it done outside the country so they can get an accurate result. Like that is another tactics that they want to use in collecting money from their people. And in all of this, there is an innocent child involved in all of this. That is more reason why I'm here, because I've got to realize that so far he's getting his monetary gain. He doesn't care.
What happens to his grandchild? And
this is my child. I cannot keep quiet anymore. They don't want to do this DNA because he knows so well that this is his grandchild, and he knows that once the DNA is done, that will be the end of the justice for Mohbad that he is seeking for, not the one that the public are seeking for. Like, it will be the end of the justice for Mohbad that he wants, that he himself has been seeking for. The DNA is the end of it. And now the new narrative that they've used to cajole their support now is they want to submit a fresh application. When they knew so well that this is a concluded case, like they cannot reopen it again. Like you don't get it. It is a family court. Like, this is a finished course already. There is nothing any judge, any lawyer wants to do to it again, because they cannot reopen it again. But I don't know, maybe most of their supporters, but I believe there should be a lawyer among them. And trust me, anything this man says, they get them to believe him. I don't even know how he gets it done. And now, the narrative now is that they don't want to get it done in Nigeria again. When it's so obvious that there's no DNA laboratory in Nigeria. And their people believe them. So now, we'll be waiting for another 1 year and a half. Because, the court process takes time. And that is what they will start telling their people.
So have they actually filed this new application?
It is not possible, because it is like we are done with this case already.
So what's the way forward then?
The way forward is they don't want to do it. That is the way forward now. The way forward for them is they don't want to do it. But they need to tell their people what they need to hear.
Yeah. Right. So let me understand this. So in summary, from the story you're saying, your father-in-law has been telling the public that you have been frustrating this effort to get the DNA
done. Yeah.
But you are now confirming that no, you are ready for this DNA.
He cannot deny everything I just said.
And there are court documents to prove this. And he's the one.
He can never deny everything I just said here. He's been granted different. I think he has granted like over 10 interviews this year so far. And whenever the DNA conversation comes up, his response is always, "Oh, it is still in courts," which is not true. It is not in courts. The only thing the court is waiting for now is just for us to tender the results. Yeah. And they read it out to us. It is not in court. It has been done since last year. Like, it is a done deal. Like, there is no going back to it again. But the excuses that has been given the public and the interviewer is that it is still in courts.
Okay. A question for those of us that may be ignorant of this.
Okay.
Why can't you do the test without him?
The reason is because I've been called different names. He has called me a promiscuous woman. he has called me a cheating wife. I've been called different names. That people tend not to believe whatever I have to say anymore. Like, he has said so many things to my presence, and I feel like if I should get the DNA done without his consent, without him being present, that will cause another riot. That will cause another problem, because that is what he actually want me to just do one silly mistake, because he knows that I already caught him. Like I'm about to stop his means of surviving, and he knows that once. So now he just want to frustrate me to do things out of anger.
Yeah.
So he wants to frustrate me to go ahead and do the DNA. So once it is done, then he will start going out there that, oh, the result is fake. And people will believe him because he's been the only one talking. Do you understand?
I get that. But do you think even if it's done in a reputable hospital, he will still be able, people will still believe him? Because if according to you, he's trying to frustrate it.
I don't think you, like do you go online often and often?
No, I don't.
My father-in-law is not a celebrity. He's everywhere.
So I don't understand what you're doing.
People, like, he's at least in a week. At least he do gratitude. I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 2 or 3 times in a week. So people tend to listen to whatever he has to say because he has been the only one talking.
Okay.
Like the rest of the family has just been silent, because of the legacy of my husband. There is no way we would talk or say anything that my husband's name will not be attached to it.
Yeah.
Right now, as I'm here, I'll be addressed as Mohbad's wife or Mohbad's widow. So his name is attached to whatever. So the glory, is being attached. So I don't want the legacy to get ruined for me. So I'm very sure, that is why the other family member has been quiet.
Yeah.
And
so what are you going to do? Because if I understand what you're saying, you're saying that because of the way that he has mobilized public sympathy, anything you do now will be misinterpreted. So you're being careful.
Yeah.
But it seems like it is, because what you're saying is he doesn't want to do this DNA.
He doesn't.
So it feels like you have no other. So what other choice do you have?
That is why I'm here. Like, I feel like there should be an organization protecting children in Nigeria, because I know that all of this thing happening to Liam can never happen abroad.
Now that so he's gone to TV stations.
Yeah.
He said this. So what happens next?
Okay, so myself and my lawyer will be going to the court to report these whole incidents to the court, and to also get the permission from the court to get DNA done under their supervision.
Right. So the court will supervise this.
Yes.
So the lawyer is saying that you guys are going to the court to say, let's do this DNA.
Yeah, under your supervision.
Under your supervision. Right.
Yeah, and we might probably, we don't know, publish it online for people to see.
So you ask the court for permission to publish the DNA.
Yeah, so we can keep them updated on how
this is going.
The whole thing is going on, because I feel like my calmness will just make things worse. In 5 years, we'll be here till forever.
Yeah.
I know DNA will be done because it seems I'm interested.
What do you think that your late husband would feel if you were alive to witness all of this?
Yeah. These thoughts alone is one thing that keeps me awake every night. If only the dead could see. Because the whole family knew how much my husband loved Liam. He has tattooed Liam's name even before seeing him. He sees Liam as, Liam is literally like his source of happiness. Whoever is happy with Liam is literally happy with the person, no matter how much he hates you. Do you understand? The whole family knows it. So whenever most family wants to see his good side, they will just have to carry Liam. And the fact that all of them is done in his absence is, if only the dead could see, he would have cried 100 gallons of tears. I'm not going to lie to you, because he would never believe this would be coming from his father. Because his father is one person that he loved so much. He doesn't joke with his father. His father first before anything. Okay, let me just say, now that he has a child of his own, maybe Liam first, then his father. And everybody knows how much he doesn't joke with his father. And so he would never believe his father would be the one to do this to his child. And few days before his demise, his father was with us, I think on Saturday. He carried his baby and put him on his lap. They took pictures together, like he knew he was going to die. They make different videos, took pictures on Liam's iPad. These pictures are still on his iPad. And my father-in-law, even when I had my baby, at first, we never had the intention of having a baby. We just want to make money. You understand? My father-in-law would always come to us like, oh, you want us to have a child? like he was the one that, wanted this thing. Left me and my husband, I just want to live our life because we're still young. I was 23 and he was 25 then.
Yeah.
So he would just come to us like, oh, we want us to have a baby. The Holy Spirit tells him something. Then those words were just a normal words to me, but now it has meaning. So they, like one day he just came to us. I think it was around June last 2 years. I had Liam 2 years ago. Sorry, last 3 years, 2022.
Right.
He came to us.
That's your father-in-law.
Yeah, he was my friend. Like, he literally comes to the house every time. Like, he would come all the way from Ikoyi. He would make food for me. Like, he's my friend. He would come with food stuff, like different things. So he just came that day, and my husband was even sleeping. He woke him up from bed, and he said he had a dream that the Holy Spirit tells him that we would have a child, and the child will be a boy, and the child will be so popular, like. I know that after he gets to see this interview, he would reflect to those things I said. That this child will be so popular and the child will be so rich, like even more richer than my husband. And he said when he grows older, that child will be the one to buy his own coffin when he dies. He didn't even mention my husband. My husband is the most successful child that he has. He didn't mention my husband. He said the child, I was not pregnant though. He said that child will be the one to buy the child will be so rich, it will be so popular. Like my husband's fame is nothing to compare to the kind of fame and riches this child will bring to us. And it's like that word that he said that child will be the one to buy his coffin when he grow up and dies. I think it was like a manifestation that's coming to an existence now because my husband is dead, and Liam is the only legacy left behind. So Liam will stand as the Mohbad when he grows older and dies. If only he could just go back to. I don't know what he was thinking when he said those things because he's doing something different entirely right now.
Ever since Mohbad died.
Yeah.
You have not even had time to grieve your husband.
I've not even wanted the death of my husband. Like, I've not even seen closure at all. It still feels like my husband is still alive because he's in Yaba morgue. He has not been buried.
He has not been buried?
Yeah, he has not been buried. He has not been buried. It's so sad. He has not been buried. And he's been in pieces twice. They literally did 2 autopsies. The government autopsy and the private autopsy my father-in-law did. And I can tell you for the fact that there is no genuine reason why he's still there. My father-in-law has no genuine reason. But he's been going to interviews saying, the government do not want him to get justice. The government is this, the government is that. Like, he's been manipulating the public. Like, he has said so many things. People, I don't feel like there's anything that people would say that the people in public faces would believe again because a lot has been said. He's been gotten interviewed saying the government have been the one delaying my husband's the inquest. Meanwhile, it was one of his supporters that the woman is always on TikTok 247. Just all those American women. So the woman was so much interested in the case, and the woman later got to realize that my father-in-law was not being truthful to her. So she said she's interested in the case and she wants to have a personal lawyer to join the inquest. So the lawyer submitted an application to the magistrate courts that he wants to join the inquest, and he also wants the inquest to start from the beginning again. Like, he wants us to start all over again.
That'll be a third process.
So the lawyer and the judge and the court has been, there's been back and forth. That is why the inquest is on hold. But my father-in-law has been granting interview, manipulating the government.
So you're saying even your father-in-law is also part of the process that's delaying the burial?
That is the funniest thing.
That the burial of his son is being delayed also because of all this drama your father-in-law is causing.
And he knows what to do to get things done. Like, all he has to do is just talk to that woman because they used to be friends before we had issues. So all you have to do is just talk to that woman so that the woman can, probably withdraw or, so they can just make an agreement so that the court can open the coroner inquest, but he has refused to do the needful. Instead, he was always going on interviews, screaming the government's name.
But he's the one delaying the process.
Himself, him and his supporter.
Do you accept the result of the coroner inquest?
I mean, that is another question. That is another awful question, because I knew that there is a nurse involved in this case. You know, he reacted to rejection. And since my husband, even the night my husband died, my father-in-law got to the house. You know, the nurse even narrated everything that happened to him. In fact, my husband's manager wanted to get the nurse arrested that night, but he asked us to let her go. That he does not have any business with her.
The father-in-law asked them to let the nurse go.
That we should let her go. That he doesn't have any business with her. And you know, despite the begging that a lot of people begged him not to bury my husband, but he insisted I was going to bury. In fact, even the day they wanted to bury my husband, they didn't inform. I got to know online.
You were not informed that you were going to bury your husband.
Mr. Chu, a whole lot has happened. Even the day my husband, even the day of his burial, they wanted to kidnap Liam from me at this time. Like my father-in-law and there's one woman. The one is like I don't know. I don't want to call it. The one is, but they have a relationship. They have a close relationship.
She says since her husband died in 2023, she has had no peace. On the one hand, she has been attacked by Naira Marley and his cohorts and supporters, bullied. And on the other hand, she has been attacked by her father-in-law. She says this is a man who convinced her to marry his son. This is a man who prophesied that her son, Liam, would go to greatness and be the one to bury him. And now, that man has called the son a bastard, has mobilized Nigerians to attack her for cheating on Mohbad, and has demanded that she does a DNA test to prove paternity. A DNA test that she says he has done everything over the past 1 year to delay because he wants to keep collecting money in the guise of fighting for justice for Mohbad. And she says she is heartbroken that Mohbad has still not gotten justice for the bullying and trauma that he suffered. And one of the most heartbreaking moments in this interview, she says she wonders if it's a generational curse, that the same attacks and bullying that her husband suffered, her son is also suffering. It's one of the most emotional interviews I've ever had, and you know, my heart just broke. Hear Omomi's story exclusively on Beth today.
Beshen low, crying emoji, please, you have to power tap very well, please. Drop well.
Come for me. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome, sir.
Have you been on TV before?
No, this is my first time.
This is your first interview?
Yes, sir.
This has been a very tough 2 years. You know?
It's not 2 years.
It's not 2 years.
Like 17 months now.
It feels like a lot.
It feels like a long time.
Yes, it feels like a long time.
Yeah.
It both feels like a long time, and it feels fresh. You know?
Right.
Without going into all of the things that have happened.
Yeah.
How are you?
You just asked a very huge question.
Yeah.
I would say I'm fine because, you know, my sadness is not going to change anything. So, regardless of whatever I feel, at least I'm still here, still alive. Yeah, so I would say I'm fine.
So, in this answer, you talked about sadness.
Yeah.
And again, there's a lot that has happened.
Yeah, a lot.
First, obviously, I know that the loss of your husband has been the biggest of all of this.
Yeah.
What is the saddest thing for you in all the things that have happened after? For a grieving widow.
We want to flag wow. Stop crying emoji, please.
Yes,
can you just keep tapping? Emoji flower, I want to send the kineo. Please tap and
I feel like
gifts,
the
please.
Saddest,
tap and gifts. Ejo. Want to send money, please. Tap.
The person that's supposed to be in guard for my late husband, this person that's supposed to be my son and highest protector, is our chief prosecutor.
Right.
And he's been everywhere trying to, recruit people to turn against my son and I, both online and offline. Like it's been from one threat to another.
This is Mohbad's father.
My father-in-law. So it's been from one threat to another. We no longer feel safe. Like, I literally get death threat almost every day in my DMs. I barely go out. My baby, his grandchild also, he's been deprived of so many childhood memories, but there's nothing for me to do than just to see how things goes.
What's the problem with your father-in-law exactly? Between you and him?
Yeah, so I feel like the problem is just about family disputes.
Okay.
The problem is more like
another restriction
between him and
block we'll go to second one, which is official too.
It sounds funny, but that's
let's just announce that, please.
Yeah, because after the death of my husband, my father-in-law wanted to be in control
of
my husband's properties. The fact that there is Liam in the picture, because there was one time I actually called him to ask him, like, what happened? What do we do to deserve all of this? Like, why have you been out there defaming your godchild and me? And he was like, why do I have to take Liam away from him? Why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place on the highland? That is my husband rented apartment.
Right.
That was not supposed to bring him over to meet him in Ikorodu, because himself and my mother-in-law, they are not in good terms.
Right.
He was just trying to manipulate me.
So your father-in-law and your mother-in-law are not on good terms.
Yeah.
Right. So he was not asking, why did you take the son to the mother?
After my husband's demise.
Yes. Right.
So I explained to him, I made him understand that my mother-in-law has been the only one asking of Liam. He never did. Instead, he was always online defaming her, and then I apologized to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologized. I told him I was sorry that I would bring him over to him.
When was that?
That was I think 3 weeks after my husband's demise. Then it was like I started going online talking about the DNA and
So he had already started talking about the DNA.
DNA, yes. That was when I called him.
Right, that's when you now called him.
Yes. So he made me
ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá ń fi ọwọ́ yín tẹ́ fi ń flag show yìí ọwọ́ yẹn ní fi ṣe rere ọ̀gànjọ́ òru ni mo wà ní 12 o'clock ní fi ọwọ́ yẹn ṣe rere tó bá yẹ kó gbọ́ ọmọ tẹ́ bá ti fọmọ ọwọ́ yẹn gbé láyé yín ẹ máa fi ọwọ́ yín yẹn máa fi gbé àwọn ọmọ yẹn sí lójú ayé yín ni gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá sọ pé ìsọ̀rọ̀ sí ọmọ Wunmi lẹ́ni ó ń run nínú àbò ń bí yín nínú tẹ́ bá flag show yìí tẹ́ ń report ẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan ayé yín báyìí tẹ́ bá ṣe ń gbọ́wọ́ lé bá wọn máa report ẹ̀ ni gbogbo nǹkan rere tó yẹ kẹ́ fi ọwọ́ yẹn ṣe láyé yóò máa dòbú mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ ni ní rí ọmọ yín lẹ máa gbé sọnù lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ̀ ní ṣe rere láyé mọ́ tó bá ń pín ire ní 1 naira 10 kobo kò ní kàn yín lọ́wọ́ ní àsìkò tó yẹ kẹ́ wí káwọn ọmọ aráyé gbọ́ yín Ọlọ́run á dí yín lóhùn Ọlọ́run á flag yín ní ṣoríire ní lálùbáríkà gbogbo àlùbáríkà àwọn ọmọ yín láti wákàtí lọ tẹ́ bá ṣe flag show wọ́n á máa gbà fáwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ ni ní ṣoríire lórí burúkú ẹ jọ̀ọ́ just keep tapping sí nǹkan kan tó máa ṣe watch this one let's continue.
Understand why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place? Like, is it not the owner of his grandchild? Like, trying to make me feel like a bad person. But I understand where he was heading to. So I just had to apologize to him to make things, to make things calm. Then I asked him again, like, what happened? Why are you doing this to me? Then he responded by saying, he's sure that a lot of people would have called me to tell me what he wants. And truly, a lot of people called me. My dad, my mother-in-law, my husband's friend, and few people we have around literally called me to tell me what he wants. And he told my father, whatever that belongs to my husband, I know that I have access to. I should make sure that I hand over everything to him, including the landed property, God for Liam. So I told him the same thing that he has been telling people, like, this is what these people are telling me. And I made him understand that, Daddy, you have, like, my husband got through 2 lands before his demise, one in Ekiti and one in Ikorodu. Why do you want to take the one that belongs to Liam? Right. Then it was like I shouldn't question him, that is what he wants. Then I said, okay. Then it was like, what effort? He said it in Yoruba. I don't know if you understand Yoruba.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he said, lawyer promise tí mo pè pé kó gbé kan kó fún mi ní nǹkan mọ́ mi tó bá mi sọ wípé ó bímọ ṣé ọmọ mi náà fẹ́ máa lẹ̀ fún mi ni. Like, I don't know if I can translate it in English. So he actually said, what effort does my lawyer?
Does your lawyer have?
My husband's lawyer has. He requested for his son's properties, and he was telling him that he has a son. Who is his grandchild to start asking him to start dictating what he wants?
That's why you talk about the competition.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he said to his son's lawyer, who is the grandchild.
To
challenge him
exactly
on Mohbad's
my husband's property. Yeah, but like this is one thing that most people do not know, and I was not even given the chance to talk, so I was not given the chance to say my own side of the story. So as much as I feel like some things need to be addressed, I still had the mindset that I don't know how people would react if I should talk, because without hearing anything from me, they've crucified me, they've said a lot of things about me.
Yeah.
So that alone has made me, like, my low self-esteem to be very, very low, because I no longer have the audacity to at least speak on things that really matters. Yeah. So I think that is one thing that's been causing the whole issue. The fact that Liam is in the picture. Yeah.
But this is his grandchild.
It sounds strange to me also. It won't sound weird to say it, but I'm left with no choice. I just have to say it as it is.
Yeah.
Because it has really gotten to a point that it's either I speak up or I die in silence. Yeah. So I feel like me speaking up will be the right thing for me at this point.
Yeah. Your mother-in-law, what does she think about all of this?
My mother-in-law is, she's a good mother. She has tried. I'm not gonna lie. She has really tried her best, and I feel like she cannot do more than what she has done. She's been there for my baby.
Right.
Like, she loved Liam so much, and she has been trying to, bring the two parties together, but it's not working.
He's not listening.
Yeah, it's not. My father-in-law is not even listening.
So the thing is making my head want to explode.
It sounds weird.
It sounds so weird.
Yeah.
You said people have been attacking you on social media. And you say it's affecting your esteem.
Yeah.
What are the things that people have been saying to you?
After the death of my husband, my father-in-law has been out there defaming me, saying different things. Like, he has even, in one way or the other, linked the paternity of Liam to the death of my husband. He has, like, one way or the other, linked the
another
paternity of
restriction.
Liam to the death of my husband. Yeah, so he has, I've been called different names, different defamatory names.
Yeah.
He has called me promiscuous woman. He has called me, like, different names.
Yeah.
And Nigerians, people tend to act based on their emotions. So many people tend to believe every damn thing that he has been saying. Yeah. And I was not even given the chance to say my own side of the story. And bloggers have done worse than good. So anything that would bring death to my name is what they post. You understand? I never knew social media could be as toxic as that. I never knew people could judge you even without listening to you. Do you understand? Because they don't even know me. People that do not even have a personal relationship about me tend to say, like, to have a lot to say. Do you understand? Like, from the second day I lost my husband up to this moment, I've been getting bullied online non-stop. Yeah. I'm so thankful to a few people that put their mind into work to get to understand what these people are trying to do to me and my son. I'm so thankful to them, and at the same time, I won't blame the people that choose to act the other way around, because my father-in-law has said a lot of things to convince them. Although there was no evidence for all of his accusations, but he was so constant in defending me. Like, he has granted over 50 interviews, if I'm not mistaken.
And you got them on.
So many interviews just to put people's mind into what you want to achieve. Do you understand? Yeah. And he has succeeded so far, because at least, let me say, like, 80% of people now bullies me online without even getting to hear from me. And that innocent baby too. The fact that people could believe the false narrative that was said about him, and the fact that the person that's supposed to be his protector is now the one orchestrating this whole thing. Like, he has been building armies to attack us, you understand? And it's so painful, but there's nothing I can do to it. It's like nothing, absolutely. I'm helpless at this point, because I'm literally fighting for my life and the life of my child. So I feel like that is one thing, that is my focus, just to make sure that myself and my child, we are okay. I feel like that is the main reason why I'm here. Like, I just need to speak up. Yeah. So that, because I don't want to die. Because, this same thing happened to my husband. He was constantly bullied, like, he was being lied on. They almost cancelled him just because of different narrative, and he was unable to speak up too. Yeah. And he actually speak up, but most people do not believe him. And now he's dead. So I just feel like that if my silence is not doing me any good. Because of that little boy, he would grow up to see all of this online, and he would ask me questions like, "Mommy, what did you do?" Yeah. So I want him to grow up to see me doing this for him. Yeah. Yeah.
The biggest thing that I think, based on what I've read, your father-in-law has, I think there are two things that I have heard. I don't know if they are from him. One is that he has questioned whether yourself and your husband were married. Yeah. And two, he has questioned whether your husband is the father
of my child.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the first one, I know that as far back as 2003, if I remember correctly, a popular actress had gone online and confirmed that you guys were married,
Yeah.
What's the exact status of that marriage thing? Because I think that's the first thing your
I spoke about, it was a traditional marriage,
right.
Yeah.
Which is recognized under the law.
Of course it is.
Right. So it wasn't an introduction.
No, it wasn't. The funniest thing is that he was even the one that made that possible. I mean, my father-in-law.
How so?
That is the funniest thing, because left to me and my husband, we just wanted to live our life.
Right.
Because we were young couples. I was 23 when I got pregnant.
Right.
And so he was the one coming to us, because that man is actually my friend. We were literally close.
Yes, I've seen some text messages.
We were very close. He's like a father to me. That is one thing that the media did not get to know. He's like he was my friend in that marriage. So he was even the one that came to me to tell me that now that I'm pregnant, that we need to get things done. That if I was to be his daughter, he would never allow me to train my child in my husband's house because he was not married, because he's not married to me. That I should go to my parents' house. I should get a list and send it to him.
So your father-in-law is the one that even encouraged you guys to
That is the funniest thing. Left to me, I won't get married because I knew my husband loved me and he knows I love him too. So we just want to live our life.
Right.
So he was even the one that initiated that marriage.
Right. And he was present, of course, during the
He was the happiest. He called me early morning on my introduction, on my marriage, on my engagement day. I think around 6 a.m. He called me to pray for me. He was the happiest that day. He was the happiest.
And now he's saying that marriage did not happen.
Yeah, because my husband is not here to defend me. It's so sad, Mr. Chode. It's really sad. Well, that's the core reality I now have to face. It's really sad, honestly.
Then the one that, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine now. Thank you.
Okay. Then he questioned the paternity of the child.
Yeah.
How did you hear that your father-in-law was questioning the paternity of your child?
I got to know online.
So he came online and did a video.
He never called me. He never called any of the family members to ask for the DNA of Liam.
She just came online and said, nobody's not the father of the child.
I swear to God.
Did you call him after that?
Of course I did.
And then what did he say?
He didn't say anything. He was just saying, why do you have to take Liam away from him? He did, I was expecting him to talk about the pattern, ask me for the DNA, I'm your daughter-in-law. He never did. Even when I called him, the word he was telling me was, why do you have to take Liam away from him?
So it's like he's punishing you for...
Yeah.
Is there nobody in the family that can call him...
To order?
Yes.
He's the head of the family. I think he should be in his late 50s. Right. So he's the head. So I don't think there should be anybody somewhere that would, because he knows what to do, he knows the right thing. But he's just using the DNA as a tool to punish me. To punish my son and I. Yeah.
When's the first time he asked for a DNA test?
So when the DNA narrative came out, at first I didn't take it serious because I was like, who is this guy asking for the DNA of my child? Who is in the grand scheme of things? This guy is nobody to us. So why is he asking for the paternity?
Who is the person that asked?
I don't want to mention his name.
Right. Was it a blogger?
Oh, shit.
Social media.
Social media content creator.
So I didn't take him serious. Not until my father-in-law started talking about it. And I had to put a call through to him. I called him, I asked him, Daddy, what really happened? Why are you doing this to Liam? And he kept on saying, why do you have to take him to my mother-in-law's place? Does it bear my mother-in-law's surname? What effort do I have to take him to my mother-in-law's place and not his own house in Ikorodu? Is he not the owner of his grandchild? And I still try to tell him, Daddy, I'm scared because we've been going out there to say different things about me. Well, I'm scared. You cannot keep doing this and expect me to bring Liam to you. And he was like, okay, it's a problem. And he hung up. So I was expecting him to talk about the DNA, but he never did. So I think, the next day he went on live on TikTok, on Instagram, to talk about the DNA again. He was trying to talk about it almost every day. So I think 3 days after I called him again. I wanted to ask him, what does he really want? I really want him to stop going out there to defame my baby. But he didn't pick up my calls. I called him repeatedly for a week, but he did not pick up. So I stopped calling. So I think around November, it was around November, he sent a message to my lawyer
Okay.
Yeah, I sent a message to my lawyer that I should bring Liam to him, that he wants to perform a DNA test on him. So my lawyer sent him to me, and I told my lawyer that I am scared. Like, I'm scared to take my baby to him because he has gone out there to say so many defamatory things about me. He has said it publicly that he hates me so much. Like he even went as far as trying to cajole my brother-in-law to lie, like to implicate me one way or the other. No, yeah, because you said it online that I used to put substance in my husband's food.
Who said that?
My father-in-law. Then I would go and F around after. Because he never knew it was my brother-in-law that prepared my husband's last meal. So when he got to realize that it was my brother-in-law, he put a call through to my mother-in-law, and but fortunately I was with her that day. So he just called to tell her that he just got to know that it was Adura that prepared my husband's last meal. That Adura and Mama should come over to his house and he go do so they will know how to package the whole thing and put it on my head. I was so fortunate to be with Mama that day because I had to put it on record. And
So you had a recording of this?
That's they should, so that they will know how to put it on my head. What if it was poison that killed my husband? Adura should come to him because he does not want to lose another child. Because now he didn't know that it was my brother that prepared his last meal, and he has gone out there to talk about me putting something in his food. Because now we do not know the result, what the autopsy would bring. Like, what if the autopsy said he died of poison? I'm so grateful that I was with my mother that day because it's not still I had the intention of recording it, but I just had to do the recording because his intention was really bad.
Yeah.
And for him to have thought of something like that, I feel like this man does not have my best interest at heart. But I was so fortunate to be my mother that day, so I had to put that thing on record.
But that essentially means that your father-in-law wanted to accuse you of murdering your husband.
He has tried. There is nothing he has not said.
Please tap.
So when he got to realize that it was my brother, but I know that prepared that last meal, he stopped that poisoning narrative. Then he moved to many other ones. Yeah. So I tried to explain to my lawyer that these are the things that this man has been trying to do.
Yeah. So lawyer is different from your husband's lawyer, the one that
yes. So I tried to explain to my lawyer that these are the things that this man has been trying to do to my son and I. I'm scared to take my child to him. So my lawyer said the best way we could go about it is to get a court order, so that the court can be in charge of it, and so that the court can also monitor the process. And once the DNA is done, the both parties will be at peace. And I said, okay, no problem, if that's the case. Then my lawyer sent him a letter, sent his lawyer a letter to tell them to get a court order. But they refused to acknowledge it. And we're just going online, going to different TV stations, talking about DNA. Oh, Liam is bastard, Liam, just constantly bashing that innocent baby. And I think around January 2024, I was forced to post something on my Insta story because I got tired. I'm human. And the whole thing, because the whole bashing was really getting too much. People were literally coming to my DM, threatening they're going to kill me, saying my child is a bastard. Why would I give my husband a bastard? Because they really do not know the game my father-in-law is playing with me. So I was frustrated and I had to post something on my Insta story. I made it known that I have been ready for the DNA. But my father-in-law has refused to do the needful. I told him to get a court order, which he has refused. And no amount of bullying can make me take my child to him because I'm scared. Because I know people do not know the bad things he has been doing because I didn't say anything publicly. I didn't address anything because I feel like let me just be the bigger person in this situation. So I think around February 2024, he submitted an application at the magistrate court in Ikorodu, DNA application. His lawyer, himself, and my lawyer were present. I was not there. So the court gave them a summon letter to give me. And immediately they gave them summon letter. My lawyer walked up to them to request for it. They refused. They didn't give him. But my lawyer was even trying to convince them that they know I no longer stay in my husband's rented apartment. That they should just give it to him so that he will know how to get it across to me on time so we can just get things done. But they insisted that they were not going to give him. And the next day they went to my husband's rented apartment. They pasted the paper on the wall. They took a picture and sent it to blogs, and blogs, it was all over blogs, and people started bashing me as usual because they actually thought the summon letter is a court order. Most people do not even know. If I was not in this mess, I wouldn't even know what. a summon letter is, because it was later that my lawyer made me understand that a summon letter is like an invitation letter, like I was invited to the court. So people started cursing me, saying, oh, now they have given me the court order, now I'm on the run, now I'm nowhere to be found, because they really do not understand what it is, and because of the narrative that's been going on. So I think around April, we had a court sitting. And when we got to, because I was not present, so it was my lawyer, his lawyer, and my father-in-law. Then we had a court meeting, and the judge asked us to go home and to mediate. That it is a family issue, and it is something that we could settle amicably. That we should just mediate. That he knows that both parties are angry, and we should just look for a way to talk about it and reach a conclusion. The two parties were unable to mediate. While all this was happening, my father-in-law was still going like all out for Liam to paint the narrative like, oh, I'm still running, like maybe like the DNA, like there's nothing, like I've not accepted to do it, like yes, like he's still going all out there to defame my baby as usual. And I think so we were unable to mediate, and the court was adjourned till I think May
of 2024.
Yeah, 2024. Yeah. We went back to court again. The judge asked us to go back home and mediate again. The second
Were you
time,
in court on this day?
Yes, I was in court.
Right. And your father-in-law was also in court?
Yes, he was also in court.
So you saw him?
I saw him.
Did he talk to you?
No, he did not. So the second time, the judge asked us to go back to mediate, and we had a meeting. My lawyer, his lawyer, myself, and himself, like we sat down on the same table. And I told them that I do not have any issue with doing a DNA test. That I just want one thing for my father-in-law. And what I want from him is just please stop defaming Liam. Like, it makes me sad. That I wouldn't even mind if it's coming from outside that, because I feel like they don't really matter in Liam's life. But the fact that it is coming from his grandfather, it breaks me. And it's not something I can just, like, I really need him to stop it. Like, once he stops, I don't have any business. I don't have any problem with him. I will definitely get the DNA done. And he said it to my face, like he said it himself, that he was going to stop. Like that day we had a conversation.
Right.
He said it.
So face to face, he told you he would stop this.
Yes. Like I even tried to tell him about like the people supporting him that has been bullying me and my child, and he told me on that seat that he does not know them. That in fact his lawyer wants to write some of them to stop working for him, because most of the things they do, he's not the one asking them to do it. Like he said it to my face. And I said, okay, no problem. The next day, my father-in-law went to Berekete to start defaming him again.
Sorry, I'm confused. So you're saying a court ordered you guys to mediate.
After the mediation,
we
went to Berekete.
You sit down with him. He tells you face to face.
The way we get seated here. That was how
that he's going to stop.
He promised me he was going to stop.
Then the next day he was on Berekete radio.
He went to Berekete radio to start defaming Liam again. Calling Liam, said Liam is a Muslim name. Liam's placenta was given to the alleged father, to the alleged father, like, so many things again. When he knew so well that it was my husband that buried that placenta, because I could remember vividly, we were in the same room together, and he actually asked for the placenta, and my husband responded to him, saying his mother is not the one in that house, that he cannot trust him with his son's placenta, and he never argued with him. But because my husband is not allowed to defend his son.
Yeah.
He went on Berekete to say so many things like, I'm still running for the DNA. Even after we already had a discussion a day before. Giving the impression like I'm still running, like, I don't want to do the DNA. Like, just for people to keep bashing me. Like, you just want that social media attention on me.
Yeah.
And, trust people. Most people act based on their emotions.
Yeah.
And trust people to always come true for him. People kept on coming for me, bashing me, calling my baby different, names. And I went back to court. I told the judge that to please help me to beg my father-in-law that there is one issue I have with him. And the issue is the fact that he's always going out there to defend my baby. That I will be the happiest woman being on earth if he could just stop. I can control the public, but I feel like they don't really matter in Liam's life. They don't know him. But like the fact that it is coming from that man, it is breaking me. Yeah. You don't understand. Like, this man's supposed to be the one protecting him. Like, this thing is strange. I've never heard of something like this before. Like a grandfather being mean to his grandchild that way. And the judge tried to speak to him to please stop. I'm not asking for too much. But he has tried to take my right away from me as a woman. This is the least he could do. Like, he should just please stop talking death on Liam's name. He promised me at the court that he was going to stop. So the next day, he was on TikTok live, granting interview, calling Liam, saying Liam has bow leg. They don't have such a child in their family. Liam's face looks older than his face. Him that is almost 50, 60 looks younger than Liam. There's nothing he did not say. He said so many
on
things.
TikTok live.
It's the truth. It sounds funny, but I'm being sincere with you. Like, all of these things, like, they are videos. I've been trying to delete those things out of my memories because the might keep saying it, the more it's
content.
Yeah, it's.
I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a tough question. Somebody's going to be watching this scene and say, so why don't you just do the DNA test? So
my lawyer wrote them a letter that his client is ready for the DNA. That is the beginning of the problem.
Okay.
My father-in-law granted like 15 interviews in a month.
So because he knows that you're not ready for the DNA.
Oh my God, the backlash. Oh my God, he went almost everywhere. Almost every TV station to talk about this DNA, to defame Liam, to say so many things that will convince people that, oh, truly this boy is a bastard. You know, yeah, he said a lot.
Okay.
He even went as far as saying my husband wanted to throw my baby inside Thornhill Bridge. There is nothing he has not said. I thank God for the spirit of his silence that he gave me. You know, it was not easy for me because, you know, I'm a mother. This is my child. After they received that letter, so his lawyer also sent a message. So my lawyer, and they listed their conditions.
Conditions for what?
For the DNA.
I don't understand. Okay, what are the conditions?
Yeah, so they listed so many things, but out of the conditions, they listed 3 things that I told my lawyer to take out of it, to remove, to decline. They said once the DNA is done, I shouldn't tell the public the result of the DNA. All of these things are written. They are written documents. He said I should not tell the public the result of the DNA. That should be between the 2 parties.
I don't understand. So he wanted you to go and do a DNA, and then not to tell the public that.
No, the thing is, he knows that Liam is his grandchild.
That doesn't make sense because
he knows that once DNA is done,
yes, the
attention will be shifted from him to Liam. You know, most people, they just want to know. Like most of my husband diehard fans just want to know if this child truly belongs to
him. So once they know the matter is ended.
He knows that the DNA, you know, that is the tool. That is the only tool he has been using to fight us. Yeah. And he knows that once the DNA is done, the attention will be shifted from him to Liam. Because, you know, Liam is a baby. He needs all the love and attention from people.
Yeah. So one of the things you declined was not to talk about.
Not to talk about to anybody, not even the press. Okay. Secondly, he said I should not sue him once the DNA is done. You know, because he knows, like he has said so many defamatory words. Thirdly, he said he wants to be in Liam's life as his guardian.
The same Lillian that he had called a bastard and said he wants to pray that your husband wants to pray into the grave.
Yeah. And
the same Lillian that you're saying is
all of this things I'm saying is written in case you want to see.
Yes.
He said he wants to be in his life as his guardian. I told my lawyer to remove those things. I don't want to see it.
Any of those things.
Like any of those, like he should remove it. But my lawyer is an elderly person. He's also from Ekiti. So, you know, in one way or the other, they are combined, like they are bind together in one way or the other. So my lawyer said I should just please
accept them.
I don't accept the third one where he said he wants to be in Liam's life. Because, you know, he has a way of manipulating the public. That once the DNA is done, he might just go out there to start saying, oh, I don't want him to see his son, only surviving child. And, you know, I should just allow that
to pass.
Third one. And I said, okay, but I hope he will not tell me that he wants Liam to come over to his house to spend the weekend. That any of their meeting, I must be there.
The lawyer said, of course.
Yes. I said, okay, if that is the case, no problem. After they already reached an agreement, so we went back to court. We had another court sitting. I was not present at the court that day, but my lawyers, his lawyers and himself, they were at the court, and they told the judge that the 2 parties have reached an agreement. And if the judge, because my lawyer said the judge was even happy, so that we can just get things sorted and move on. So the lawyer had to tell my lawyer to come here in a video court so as to confirm if truly I am ready for it. And I spoke to the judge on the phone. And I made her understand that, I'm ready for the DNA. Yeah, the judge made an injunction. The judge is actually a woman. So she appointed one person at the court to monitor the process.
The DNA process.
The DNA process. And after the whole thing was done, my father-in-law and his lawyer raised their hands up to... I was not there. It was what my lawyer told me. And they raised their hands up to tell the court that they have paid for the DNA since July. That they paid the same pathologist that did my husband's second autopsy. That they've paid him since July. And he will be the one to do Liam's DNA, a pathologist. So my lawyer raised an objection, and he told the court that they don't think that would be possible because they were not even sure if we're going to get the DNA done. So why would they tell us that they've paid in advance for things that they were not even sure of? And also, if we should accept something like that, like it's more like we are already working to an answer. And the judge also agreed with my lawyer that truly they should just look for a way to ask for a refund and get it done in another hospital, which they all agreed at the courts.
Okay.
When it's now time for us to do the DNA. The same pathologist that the judge asked them not to use was who they said.
Sorry, I don't know about
a pathologist
do DNA tests.
Like I'm surprised too.
Okay, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
okay.
It doesn't make sense, right?
So you were ready for the pathologist reached out. Okay.
No, not the pathologist, the lawyer.
So your father-in-law's lawyer, reached out to you.
So to my lawyer, that is the same person that they want to use.
Even though the court has said
no, at UCH hospital, because that was the pathologist that did my husband's autopsy. So my lawyer tried to raise an objection again that the court already acted not to, but they insisted. Okay, then we said it's fine because we have nothing to hide.
Right.
So my lawyer also said we'll be using Laguna Hospital.
Okay. So you will use the same pathologist?
No, they will be the one to use the pathologist since that is what they want.
Yes, but at Laguna Hospital?
No, like we want to use a different hospital.
Okay, you want to do two?
Yeah, two DNA tests.
So their own and an independent one?
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
And they said no, that they do not want it.
But they don't want their own person? That
they do not want Laguna Hospital, we should choose another hospital.
Okay.
So we chose another hospital. I think we chose two other hospitals. They said they do not have money for it. Their response was very slow. They seemed so uninterested. Do you understand? Well, me, I wanted to get this thing done. So I was just telling my lawyer to keep on texting them because I want it done. So they said, the second time, so they told my lawyer they don't have money for two hospitals. My lawyer would then head letter again that, you know what, don't worry. You can get it done anywhere you want. In fact, since you insisted on using a pathologist, it is fine. But just allow us to do our own personal one. And in fact, we'll be footing the bills ourselves. They did not respond to us. Because, they do not want any result that will counter their own results. They know what they want already. They know the results. They know the result that they want to tender to the courts. So they do not want any result that will counter their results. So their response was very slow. Like they were not responding to us. And while all of this is going on, it was still everywhere talking about the DNA, giving the public impression like, oh, nothing is being done behind closed doors. Do you understand? The people were constantly bullying me and Liam. And while all of this was happening, my lawyer just asked me to just calm down. I would say my story when it is time. I don't have to act the same way that he acted. I said, okay, no problem. The last conversation we had was early December 2024.
Early December, after you had requested that
to do our own personal independent DNA.
They had said no.
No, they didn't just reply to us.
Went quiet.
Yes, they went quiet. They didn't respond to us because they know that they do not want any result that will counter their own results because they know what they want to bring. They know what they want to tender to the court. So they stopped replying us. So I think early January 2025, I saw an interview. We granted an interview with one guy called Mr. Leo Gaga. I don't know if you've seen the interview. Yeah, so brother, like I'm so grateful for the gift of them, because they've made, like they've shown me love, like they've shown me all the love I deserve. And my husband's
and your online family,
they've been there for us financially. My husband's true friends. Yeah, like friends. I don't know if I should mention them.
I do know some of them.
Yeah, like Bella.
So Bella has been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
She Vibes, TIA, Wadud, and I think yes, those 5 people has really been there for us financially.
Contractors, they
loved him so much. Financially, shelter. Even without me asking, they would just send money into my account to get Liam stores. Sometimes Bella would ask me to dress him up. Bella and his wife, they would ask me to dress Liam up because they also have a baby boy. Liam is 3 months older than him. They would take us out, but get Liam stores. Liam has been he has been well taken care of by them. I'm blessed to have them, and also God has raised an army for me. That has been been daily and physically also. Yeah, so and I'm so grateful for them. So I'm grateful to them because despite everything that happened, all my husband's friends, like, they bullied all of them, because of what my father-in-law has been saying. So a lot of people tend to believe it, but most of these people do not even know that all of these people have had a conversation with him, and they know what he wanted, and they are not in the position to give him.
Yeah.
Because every of my husband's friends have called this man, and the one thing he kept on, if you have one-on-one conversation with my father, behind closed doors, what he will tell you is property.
Yeah.
His son's YouTube, like the music catalog in general. Like, those are the things he will tell you. But if you have a public conversation, you start talking about justice. So most of the people that that the public thinks, they do not care about him, and the people that had a conversation with him behind closed. For example, Mommy Yabo Ojo, we've had different conversation. What he was talking about is land, property, and those people, I won't even be happy seeing them come online to talk about it too, because it's like, because people will not even believe because of the narrative that he has painted, and like, I'm seeking justice for my son.
Right.
Yeah.
You said in an interview that if you're allowed to say what you know, or something they quoted you saying about Mohbad's death, if you're allowed to say what you know, there will be trouble. Or something not allowing you to say what you know. Can you clarify that?
No, that was when the attack was
intense.
Yes, it was intense.
Attacked by who?
From the public.
Right.
And there were a lot of people on TikTok that they, like, whenever anyone supporting me, how they do is to go into their inbox to threaten that they're going to kill them. It is either they support my father-in-law and Nayamali, or they stop supporting me.
Right. So
like, there are so many evidences of those.
Do you have a screenshot of these threatening messages?
A lot of threatening messages from people supporting me online.
Right.
So I knew the attack was actually coming from, I knew that the attack was really much. Like, the first 3 months after I lost my husband, it was very, very intense. Like, it was much. I could not even sleep. Like, I had to stop breastfeeding my baby. The whole thing got really worse. So it's like, where do I even want to sleep? This is somebody that has peace of mind that would sleep now. So, and I knew that the attack was actually, and the fact that people could add the audacity to buzz into people's DM to tell them to stop supporting. Is it that they support my father-in-law or Naira Marley, or they blocked the accounts, and they were blocking people's accounts, really. Like, there's even one woman on one platform on TikTok that said that some people were offered her money, and they want to give her money just to keep supporting
Your father-in-law?
My father-in-law and the rest.
If your son Naira Marley today, what will you tell him?
If I should have a conversation with him, one thing I would tell him is that even if the whole world do not believe what I've been saying, deep down that you maltreated my husband, and your conscience should judge you. That is one thing I would say to him. Like, deep down in his mind, he knows that. Although from the beginning of this whole journey, it was fun. I'm not going to lie, it was fun.
The journey between Mohbad and Mali,
yes,
and the other Malians.
Yes, it was fun. But one thing about my husband doesn't talk. My husband is somebody that doesn't know how to express himself. So even when he was hurting, even when people are doing things to hurt him, he will not express himself. My husband is one person that only acts. You understand? You might be in a room with my husband for a month, and he wouldn't say a word to you. Do you know some people like that? So I think that's one of the reasons I think that is one of the issue that they had. My husband, no matter what he does to my husband, he will just be looking. He was supposed to speak up, but he doesn't know how to speak up. Like, he doesn't like stressing people. So the thing was piling up till it got to a point where he no longer knows how to cope with it. Exactly. So that is one of the things that destroyed their relationship. Do you understand? And I believe as a leader, there should be a way. He would try to make things right.
That's Naira Marley agenda.
Yes. Yeah. But instead, I don't know. Even the last show that he went to in London, he was attacked.
Yes, so I think that's where we end it. Full video will be out on their page.